Creativity is an addiction. Unplugged because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally Uncut because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged.
Hey, it's Arroe, and this is vocal defrag. Defragging is asking yourself the questions and then questioning the answers. I say it that way because we tend to run to a lot of people for answers. And you think Bobby down the street knows my life? He hasn't lived in my shoes. Why am I running to Bobby for answers? That's just the way we are. It's the way that we're raised. We get in these circles with friends and we think that this is the one and only way because this friend looks to be having a great life. I want to be like them. They're always smiling. They're always buying new things. I want their life. Do you? Do you? Is that buying really a happy time? Or are they using that buying to put some shadows over the dark times? That's what defragging is, where you ask the questions. I do it in a written journal, and I also do it here, the vocal defrag, because it became a mission, a calling. Dude, why are you being so damn selfish with your writing in a defrag journal when a lot of people around the world need to know what defragging is, where they can ask themselves the questions and then question the answers. This is vocal defrag. Kind of a heavy subject this week. This came to me in my writing, especially while I was defragging. I said, so is there a subject at all this week? And I said, no, I'm empty. I said, this one's totally out of my hands. And I swear to God, not even 3 seconds later, something hit my page. And it said, this writing, are you just telling a story? Is it your story? And my answer, remember, ask the question and then question the answer. My answer was this. No, it's not my story. It's my exploration. And from that moment came another thought. Now I know why people don't write their stories. They don't use a journal. Because in their own personal explorations, they don't like what they're locating. And when you don't like what you locate, what do? We turn and we walk away. That one moment that could have been the needle in the haystack. And because during our personal explorations, you know, those thoughts in your head, it's still writing. Yeah, those dark thoughts, those thoughts of fear and anxiety, it's still writing. I don't care if you put it on a page or you keep it in your head and heart, you're still writing your thoughts. So I asked the question, is it your story or is it your exploration? It's a very easy subject to talk about, but it's very difficult to digest. I bump into creative minds all the time that always ask me questions, and what I do in return is I say, don't ask me what you're thinking. Ask yourself. Now tell me what your answer is. And what happens is that gives them an opportunity to kind of lay out the groundwork of, well, I kind of wanted you to say this to me. I didn't want to hear it from me. See what I mean? Your explorations are things that you don't want to face. And so when you don't want to face it, we turn and walk away. Or we try to ignore it. I was writing in my defrag journal this morning about how I am not the person I was between 1981 and 1992. 11 years of my life that still haunt me even today. Am I writing the story or am I exploring? I'm sure not living in that past. I just know where I've been. I heard a preacher recently tell me, he goes, sometimes you need to sit down with a piece of paper and just say, I give this energy away to the higher power. And see, a lot of people, when they do something like that, they expect to be fixed immediately. But the preacher man said one thing. He said, let the anxiety move through you. And the next step is awareness. See what I mean? The exploration. We're always seeking something. We want that new car. We're seeking to have the best things on Amazon Prime Day. We want something so that we can hide what it is that we don't want to face during our daily explorations. We're on a journey. I wish people would admit that. But people go, yeah, I'm living day by day. But that's very difficult to do for not only me, but probably for you as well. Because we allow the writing or the scrolls in our head to control whether we are writing our own story or are we exploring. And I ask that question, what are you doing? Which is the one that carries the most importance? Now answer it in a way that's going to lead to another question. If it is exploring, then my thing would be, what are the things that you're exploring that's keeping you from reaching a higher level of a better self? Asking the questions, then questioning the answers. It's not judgment. It's not putting yourself on the spot and then going, well, I failed myself again. Well, you know what? I fail myself every day, but how I pick myself back up is I ask the questions and I question the answers, and I realize, you know what? That wasn't a failure. That was just a baby step. So it didn't go the way I wanted it to. So dinner last night, I burnt the chicken. Does that mean my life as a chef in my own kitchen is over? Oh, hell no. I just won't pull that move ever again. See, allow the anxiety to move through you, because the next step is awareness. We're seeking something. And what we seek may be a reason why we're trying to hide. And why we hide is because we don't want to sit in what we're thinking about. We want to break free of the things that we're thinking about. You see, our mind is constantly writing. You don't have to do it on a page. You don't have to do it on social media. Your mind is constantly writing. It's trying to find something. And when it doesn't find what it's looking for, then you're going to become anxiety-filled and you're going to be stressed out. There are many times in my daily writing that I want to share a story, because I know that my eyes aren't the only eyes that are going to touch these pages in the years and decades ahead. I want to share the experience. I want to bring life to the page in a way of, oh my God, that really happened? No way. Well, it's in his own words here. Okay, we all have that. We're all storytellers because we live off the story. But in the moments of exploring, the future eyes or the dear future reader, what happens is they're not going to understand the exploration just as much as we don't understand the exploration that we're living right now. I once had an editor for my second book, Another 1,021 Thoughts. She wrote to me and said, I can't do this. I can't edit this book. It's too sad. And I thought to myself, it's too sad? What do you mean it's too sad? It's a book of realism. No, I just can't believe that this stuff was happening to you. It's too sad for me to think that you went through this. And that's when I sat down with her and I said, you have to understand, what I went through could actually be the answer for somebody else who is going through, or the signs of them going through it are right there in front of them. That you may not understand where I was during those times that I was writing, not the story, but the exploration. But somebody will pick this up, and they will hold in their hands an opportunity to find peace over anger. So I'll ask again, very simple. When you are writing, remember, thinking is writing. You're writing that story. You've got scrolls in your head by the way that you think. When you are writing, are you telling a story or are you exploring? I invite you to do both. It's an amazing adventure, but you've got to ask the questions and question the answers. Get to know you before you get to know the new neighbor, Johnny Bay. Yeah, he's got a cool name. He must be a radio disc jockey or a rock star, Johnny Bay. Do you know his story? Do you know his explorations? Then stop assuming. I'm Arroe, and that's Vocal Defrag.